Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxchair, on the show tonight is the one and only Bridgeman and the young late substitute of Aldbury. How are we doing, boys?
I'm great, mate. How are you two?
Good, mate.
Oh, I'm doing absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. Can I just say a big good evening to you two? Huge good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Here. How are you? Good to hear from you, Albert, mate.
Good to be on. I know I'm a late sub, but I'm quite happy to be on, mate. Quite enjoyed the last show. Was it last Friday or whatever? That was good.
Friday, aye. And we did say that Big Stevie was coming on tonight. But doesn't mind me saying his young lads had a wee bit of an accident concerning a ball, a shot at the goal and a sore wrist. So he's at the hospital, so we hope that Stevie's lad Jamba's alright. All the best to him. And by the match it. All the best to Robert Wetherell, I believe. I found out who's still in hospital. So all the best to everybody here at Rangers Radio, to Robert about his Rangers. And I hope you get well soon, Robert. And I hope it's no stress related.
Here.
Right, here
on that. We don't want stress.
You know what Robert's like. Anyway, okay. We're set into our three pre-season games. I hope Robert wasn't watching this one. I've got to be honest with you, lads. It reminded me, Saturday's performance in the game, it reminded me a lot of the semi-final, Spain and Italy. There was a lot of similarities. There was a ball, goals and grass. Albert.
That's the only similarities. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to... I know it's a friendly, I know it's pre-season, I know all that, so get that out there early because I'm going to criticise some of the players, by the way, because that was dreadful.
You've got to critique the game. You've got to critique the game, not the circumstances.
So, just before anybody's out there listening and going to get upset, don't get upset. I'm just being fair and I'm trying to be honest, you know what I mean? So, but the football itself...
No, get upset and phone in. Carry on, Ob.
Aye, that was dreadful, mate. From start to finish, dreadful, absolutely dreadful. Both halves. The only guy I'm doing pass marks to again is the wee boy Kelly. That wee boy's a football player. You can see he's a football player.
Really neat and tidy, isn't he? Really neat and tidy.
I like the way he plays. I really do. And he's all business. Know what I mean? He's none of this hanging about and trying to show off to be a superstar. He just gets on with his job, and he's very good at his job. And I like the wee boy. I like his style. I like his style of playing. I like his demeanour. I like him a lot. But the rest of them, honestly, if they think they're going to go through the season, I know they're not going to put that performance in. But Gerrard got it right at the end of the game. That was dreadful, mate. That was dreadful for a lot of them. If not all of them. Kent came on and done a couple of wee flashes. He showed his class, put it that way. He's streets ahead of all them, especially the Tranmere boys. But Lundstrom, I mean, Gerrard said he strolled it. I didn't see nothing. I was looking at him going like that. All right, you're leggy and all that. I heard that after the game. That's fair enough, but you never showed anything to me. The wee boy Kelly's a better football player, and you can tell you that right now without even getting any further into the season. But the rest of them, Big Aribo tried. He's no chemistry with Big Bassi on the left. There's actually no chemistry between the two of them. They don't understand each other's game. And I think that's down to Bassi more than Aribo, because Bassi's been sitting all last season on the bench and in the stands. He should be reading Aribo by now and going like that. Right? I can understand what he's doing. But the two of them just weren't communicating at all. They just wasn't coming after him. And then he missed one move, by the way. One move. We missed 3 sitters in one move. The one with the middle went through. Middle went through and he hits it after the keeper. I mean, that boy's tight, wound tight on a spring, that boy. Somebody needs to tell that boy to relax, because he looks all tight and he just doesn't look like he's enjoying himself. And then Brexit Defoe, he hit his it's an empty goal with maybe a guy on the line. and he hit his ass the guy, and then Roof's backing it up and missed volleys at you. You're that's tragic. That's just tragic.
That was the worst miss.
No, exactly. So I'll leave it at that and let Bridge have a say, because I could say a lot more. But I'm see after the game, and I know I was raging. I was absolutely raging. Not because we get beat. That's fair enough. You get beat, you get beat. I don't like you get beat. I don't like you get beat at friendlies. I don't like you get beat at anything. But I can understand it. But it was the attitude. The attitude was stinking, mate. Some of the players are just going through the motions, and that's ordered them. And if they think the season that we're going to come up against now is going to be a stroll, they better get that out of their head, because the whole of the Scottish League, that Premier League is coming after us, and they're coming after us hard. So you better be ready for it, because I don't want quarter of the season going in and it's didn't realise it was going to be as tough as this. Realise the new is going to be as tough as this, because they're coming after us, a whole lot. Not just the scum, everybody in that league's coming after us.
I can't disagree with anything Albert says there. I think that I would suggest there's probably 3 players that played you could give pass marks to, in reality. The rest were just average. They were just average, and average isn't good enough for Rangers, no matter whether it's a pre-season friendly or not. To me, it was just a continuation of the Partick Thistle game. That's all it was to me. And there was sometimes in that Partick Thistle game, the two sets of players, or 2 of our players, 2 or 3 of our players, didn't know each other, didn't know how to pass to each other, and when they did try to pass to each other, failed miserably. So you got that, and that was still going on in the weekend. I think that Kelly, obviously we've said about Kelly for the last two seasons now, he's a smashing wee player, and sooner or later he's got to get his chance with Rangers. However, we've got a strong midfield, but he's been the top man from a midfield perspective. And I think he's been starting. Aribo and Bassey, you could see, just as Albert says, they struggle to talk to each other with the ball. I mean, the communication. I thought they were unlucky with that one with Defoe. Somehow they managed to hit the kick their player. I really thought that was a goal all the way. But my goodness gracious, what a stramash that car ended up. So I don't blame anyone, any person. I think as a unit, as a team, we need to start playing. That is not good enough. Just not good enough. When Real Madrid / Arsenal or whomever else we're going to play get a hold of us, if we're not playing football, they'll kill us. They'll absolutely kill us stone dead. We need to do better than that. That's what I would say.
All right, okay. I think we all agree we need to do better, but I think we've got to watch. You've got to put it in context. If we'd have won 1-0 or get beat 1-0, but it doesn't really matter. But I've got to agree with some of Albert's sentiment and your Bridge. It wasn't a great watch, and it wasn't a great performance. There's no excuse for not being able to pass the ball 20 yards, even if your second 45 minutes back of your last 45 minutes, you should still be able to do the basics. Right, we've got to hear what the manager's got to say, and then we'll open the phone lines up. How's that sound, Bridge?
Brilliant to me. Go for it.
Okay, so let's hear from your manager, Steven Gerrard.
Obviously not happy with the results. I think there was large pockets of control, and you could clearly see our style. But over the 90 minutes in the final third is nowhere near good enough for the Rangers standard. Have to take into consideration it's our second game and we're coming into the game fatigued. But the level of players we've got here today, I expect us to create more and certainly get a couple of goals each half. So disappointed in the results, quite frustrated with our final third play, but really happy with pockets and how certain individuals are going about the business. But there was another 8 positives to take from today, and they're not here with us. It'll all work itself out.
Yeah. In terms of the fitness of your side, how pleased are you with that at this stage of pre-season?
Well, we had a double session. I'm not sure, was it 48 hours ago? We've obviously travelled down here and stuff, so we expect the lads to be a little bit leggy. We expect them to be a little bit goal shy at certain times. But I wasn't happy with the level of quality in the final third. Our crossing from the sides weren't good enough. We had 1 or 2 decent deliveries. Our creation, we had a couple of real good 2v1 moments where we could have been better. The goal we conceded, embarrassing from our level how we was last year. People jumping out of the way of tackles, people being soft and weak, and I can't tolerate that. So as we move along, we'll get stronger, we'll get better, and there'll be a better level of performance. So yeah, I mean, it's quite frustrating to lose the game today, but big picture, the result's not important at the moment. But the takeaway is where we have to improve, certainly in the final third.
A couple of guys getting there. First 45 minutes of the season today, not least John Lundstrom. How pleased are you with what he's brought to the squad so far?
Yeah, I thought for large parts of the first half, John cruised it. You can see what he's going to give us. I think he tired a little bit. He's been pushed really, really hard this week, so he definitely went into the game tired, but you can see his quality, you can see his presence on the pitch. He's only going to get better and better, so he was a positive for me today. Obviously getting 45 minutes into Ryan and Brandon's a positive as well, although obviously the performances are not there from them two just yet. So all in all, frustrating results. We could have scored 3 or 4 first half, we could have scored a couple second half, but if you haven't got enough people who are going to provide quality and run into the box and want to score, you're not going to score enough.
A whole week then running into Arsenal at Ibrox next Saturday. What are you wanting out of the guys this week?
Well, look, I think the first 2 weeks it's all about minutes, it's all about getting people through it, it's all about getting volume into the legs. But I think now from Monday morning we'll have a look at this game, and now it's about people impressing now and training to play, because now I'm going to pick teams for 60 minutes. So if you're not performing now, we can't carry anyone. The season's so important as we move along. People need to impress now and play well, otherwise they're not going to get many minutes.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
That could have been you, Albert. Very honest.
Just basically, I mean, he's right. He's absolutely right in everything he's saying. I mean, I'm upset because we didn't play well. The biggest thing that upset me is the attitude. Now, that team, that is it Mellon, yeah. The man, he had them up for it. And that's fair enough. I have no problem with that at all. That's their first pre-season game, and he had them up for it. And that's fair enough, as I said. But what's no acceptable? Some of them were leaving One Zone Rangers players, and I'm looking at them going, don't accept that. It's all right being up for a game and a pre-season game, but don't let them put one on you and let it go at that. You've got to stand up and give it back to them right away just to put them in a place. But we didn't. Big Golson didn't. Big Golson, I think, got 1 or 2 bad ones, and you need to sort that guy out, mate. So what are you doing, letting them do this to you? It's not just Golson. There's a few of them getting taking bad ones. And I'm saying, no, not acceptable. That attitude has got to be, we're Rangers. All right, you might beat us. That's fair enough. But you're not going to walk out of the tap of us. And what I see is that we Tranmere outran us, outfought us. And you expect them to be up for it. I know that. But still, you need to let them know who you are. And we didn't. And we didn't do it with Thistle either. So that's the thing that I was angry about, because I'm thinking ahead of what's coming this season. So I'm saying, you need to get right.
I think it's slightly different for you. I think pre-season, it's all about fitness. We've all been there. It's getting the lungs moving, bridge. It's about moving the ball quicker, getting your shape. It's not about always winning, crunching tackles, but there's 2 sides to the attitude coin that Albert makes. That you have to do what you're meant to do, and you've got to, maybe you don't go in for that 60-40 you would go in a league game, but you've got to move and you've got to work as hard because you're trying to get the miles in the leg, Bridge.
100%. It's all about getting the lungs going, getting the body moving, and of course the eye-ball coordination. That's all those together gives you your match fitness, and you're going to be a long way short of that. But it's all building up, and yeah, there are times in any game of football, whether it be a friendly, whether it be a bounce game, outside in the black ash pitches, people will take liberties, and you've got to either man up or just back away from it all, And if you don't man up, then maybe they'll do it again to you every time.
I'm no ball. See the 60-40 ball. See you're going on about the 60-40 ball. I'm not expecting us to get in and crunch with 60-40 boys in our favour. But if the 60-40 boys in the opposition favour, they're coming into crunchy, and that's the bit I'm worrying about. And I'm saying, look, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
You can let them get. They can crunch you. That's fair enough. But you need to then give them it back and go, enough's enough. You settle down. This is a pre-season friendly. But we didn't. We let them carry on charging them out like maniacs, and you're somebody needs to settle this team down. And the only way it's going to settle down is like Goldston and Big Balogun and Lundstrom and the bigger chappies to lay a few on them and go, right, enough, settle down. But they didn't. We stood back and let them do what they were going to do, and that was annoying me. That was really annoying me. I was saying, look, to protect yourself, what you're saying, it's only minutes and legs, it's only to get fit. The other team need to realise that as well, but they weren't. They were going for it. So was Thistle. They were going for it.
I was just about to say that there, Albert. I was just about to say that with you. Thistle did the same thing. Not all the time, but they did the same thing. Lundstrom, you can see he's quite a bit away from the rest of
the he was blown after about 30 minutes, Bridger.
His ass was gone, he's blown out his ass. Does that happen?
What's the language, Bridge, man? You should know better.
Sorry. But you know what I mean, he's blowing badly. And yeah, that's going to come, and he's going to need maybe three games like that before they start to see in and nub him in the second half, because it can just draw out the game entirely. Still,
I think we're the final third, Albert. I thought we were poor, and I thought some of the attitude was poor. It gives you more questions than answers.
Absolutely, there's players there in the forward that, as Gerard pointed out, they're no breaking their neck to get any score. They're not trying to get across defenders for the crossbar to get to them. They're all sort of standing like statues and standing in their position. And I'll give you an example. The wee boy, right? I mean, since I've watched that boy, now I know the boy's got something, but he's doing nothing. And every game I've watched that boy, the boy does nothing. And I'm saying, time's running out. You might be the manager's favourite in the son, and they're trying to bulk you up and all that. But it's time you brought something to the party, because you need to start showing us what you've got, because at the moment you've no shown us anything. He's misplacing silly, ordinary passes, and you're getting it. That's lazy, son. That's nothing to do with you're no fit. That's just a lazy pass. Go on with your game. He's got nice touches. He's got a bit of skill about him. We all know that, but he's not showing it. And he needs to. Barker we know about. Jones we know about. Middleton we know about. They're not good enough for Rangers. It's just as simple as that. I know we're going to come on to that.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think we'll be joined by Dave from Cumbernauld. How are we doing, DC?
All right, everybody. Just want to phone in about my reaction towards the Tranmere game, if you don't mind.
Floor's yours, David. Floor's yours.
Well, I'm not convinced at all. Hopefully this game is a wee bit of a kick up the backside to the players. Gerard seemed a wee bit angry about it as well. Well, I wouldn't say angry, but motivated to kick some people in the butt, if you know what I mean. Hopefully this is a wee bit of a wake-up call, and we'll start getting things together now. Obviously, we've still got some big players out with the Euros and everything, and but I would still expect us to beat Tranmere Rovers, you know what I mean? No disrespect to Tranmere Rovers. But I think this kind of this will feed into the thing that we hear feed down south every so often, that Rangers are a diddy team and all that, and I don't like Rangers getting slagged off, as you would know, obviously you wouldn't.
No, that's how some of the people, when they realise it doesn't matter who we're playing, and there's thousands and thousands of pairs down south, and we're not expecting to even for them to be on the same park as us, and that's the point Albert made before you come on, Dave, about the attitude not being right. Yeah, you're playing for a support all the time.
I think it's maybe did they not maybe take it in enough of a stride, thinking, this is just a friendly match, we don't need to try.
If we could have put the sitters away, Albert, then Bridge, we'd have won 5-1, wouldn't we? The finishing was deplorable, Albert.
Absolutely, I mean, we created some chances. That one, I was saying we missed 3 in the one move, but we did create some chances, and we're back to this again. We went through a season of this that after the Christmas series of 2 years ago, we stopped scoring, and that's a big concern. So you need to start scoring, and some of the chances you just put them away. There's nothing away from it. You just put them away. But we're struggling here again. Why are we struggling? The wee boy at right back, who was that? That was that boy Mail. Was that Mail at right back? He come through, and he's got a chance now. He ends up just blasting it, and it goes right outside the other side of the park. And I'm saying, are they coaching him that? If there's a pass to on, son, you need to know where to shoot. It's 4 corner. Simple. Everybody knows that. What are you doing? Just blasting the ball away. So he doesn't look comfortable. That's the point I was trying to make with Middleton and him and players like that and Jones. They're not comfortable when they're getting through on goal, because you see them. They don't know what to do. You're going to, you should know what to do, Benu. You should be at training all the time. You see other teams scoring goals for their positions. You know where you should know where to shoot the ball, but they don't. Middleton's hitting the ball off the keeper. I'm looking at him going, there's a big goal there, mate. He's coming out narrow and angle. You either square it or you go round about him or you put it in the fourth corner. What are you doing when that happens?
David, have you got it shown in the background, mate?
I'll just go you and spare. Give me a minute, sorry.
Go on. Turn the show off.
Hope that's better. Sorry, guys.
You just need a bit of composure, and that should come, and hopefully... Look, I'll put it to you this way. A few years ago, with a Portuguese manager that we had, we went to Sheffield Wednesday, who were a championship side in England, and we beat them 2-0 comfortably, and we thought, this team's going to do all right. You can't read too much into it. David?
No.
Well, I hope this is a wee bit of a wake-up call. As I said, if we play like that, the next two friendlies we've got might end up being a wee bit hard to watch, because let's be realistic, your Premier Rovers are a step down for the next two teams that we've got coming up. Hopefully this will wake some people up and it'll get things going. I know it's a wee bit early to be looking into it now, but I'm just not happy with it. You know what I mean, guys?
Bridgman, I agree with the boys about the performance, but in the big picture, it's not even a small picture, is it?
No. It was rubbish. To coin a phrase that Olbert likes to talk about, they were just rubbish. And really, we can't afford to be rubbish. If you're saying, and anybody could watch the game, everybody could see, we missed, in all probability, 6, 7, even 8 sitters, chances rather, including a couple of sitters. And that just isn't good enough for a team like us. Just not good enough. Young Middleton, whom I admire greatly as a footballer, he must be half a year away from fitness for that level of Rangers. He must be a long, long way away to being as fit for Rangers, because the boy had a good season. But who was he with? Was it Hibs? Was it Hibs? Was he with somebody? I can't remember who it was.
St Johnstone.
And he had a really good season with him, apparently. I know, sorry.
Do your homework before you come on here, Bridge. Do your homework.
I know. It's just bad. And I don't mind saying it. It's just bad.
I know, but I don't know if you've noticed in the changing room that your peg has disappeared. Fox has been out with a screwdriver, mate.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
Oh, it's not looking good, Bridge. It's not looking good.
No. Listen, we come as a pair, me and Bridge, so you need to share mine, Bridge.
Get your agent on your app, Bridge. Get your agent on.
Good agent.
Well, we had him on already.
Right, see the attitude I was talking about, Ox. Look at the wee boy Kelly's attitude. That's first class. Right? If he can do it, the rest of them can do it. But it's not about winning the game, and it's not about... I'm not criticising them for being bad football players. I'm criticising them for attitude, first and foremost. And that's the thing. It was annoying me. And you're saying, look, come on, I know you're no fit yet. I know it was a practice game. I know you're 20 minutes in your leg. But that doesn't stop you from having the right attitude. I mean, their attitude was rotten. It was just thinking. Kelly's was spot on. He was trying. I mean, he was up. Some passes were coming off, some passes weren't coming off. But he was trying. You could see it. He was busy. He was trying to get about the park. He's trying to join up plays. Doing everything right. And I'm saying, you're all right, son. But other people, Jones, walked about. Wright walked about. Middle, he just looks feared to me, that boy. There's something wrong with that boy. He looks all wound up, feared to do anything. They're saying, relax, son, just relax and play a bit of football. It's not that
I don't
difficult.
think that boy's anywhere near fit, neither physically or match. I don't think he's anywhere near fit, that boy.
But these are the players that Gerrard's talking about. That if you don't start showing something, he's going to start picking teams for 60 minutes on the outlook of the season ahead. So now's your chance. Show the new. Kelly's taking it. There's no doubt about it. That wee boy Kelly's taking his chance. He's showing him what he's got. So I'm looking for the rest of them to do the same.
All right, we'll see. But David, and I'll call you Bridge after this. There's more questions and answers. But who were the ones that are maybe... pun intended there. Who are the ones whose jackets are on a shaky nail? No offence, mate.
I think it's... I liked Stephen Gerrard's comment there, that he says people better start showing something, or things will start changing in his mind. That's what he was kind of saying to me anyway. I think that was a wee warning shot across the bow, and I think that's always a good thing, because if you think you're safe in the first team and you're definitely not going to get dropped, maybe your effort will go down a wee bit. And I like that for Gerrard, that he wasn't happy about it. I'm always really happy when he ever comes out and says about something like that, because it shows that he's thirsty for more success as well at our club, and that's what we want. We want to continue with this success that we've currently got with him and keep getting more success, and you don't get that when you're not getting 100%. And that's what I felt like watching that game. I felt like they're not going at the full tilt yet.
What I would say is, Bridgman, we spoke about it last week, that some of these games we're seeing, you wouldn't usually see them, would you? They'd be behind closed doors as training sessions.
Yes, indeed. Yes, they're the type it would be, we
And I hope we get back to that.
Well, look, you look at the Rangers team and the players that we've got out available to us, and we've got them out there. And we've mentioned 2 or 3. Young Aribo, I think, is a fantastic player, but he's not actually shining at the moment. He might be better than others, but he's not actually shining. And Bassey, well, sorry, Big Bassey, I absolutely love him. I love his attitude. But my goodness gracious, he needs to start playing football as well. Read the game, read his partner. He's put his partner up with Aribo, 2 people with left foot. Got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to do it. Seriously. If you can't do it, then put the hands up and then say, I can't do this. Let the manager concentrate on someone else, otherwise you're going to be disappointed. Seriously, disappointed.
Aye, it's listen, I think we could take the game fairly, Albert. I don't think in the whole scheme of things it's nothing.
It's a nothing game. There's no doubt about that. It's a nothing game.
But you're right to have the butts in there, yeah.
Oh, I mean, if we don't have the butts in there, some players might get the attitude of, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if I can improve on the Tranmere game, it wouldn't be hard to improve on the Tranmere game, wouldn't it? Because there's no standard set. You never set any standard in that game. So I'm wary of that. I'm wary of con men. I'm wary of people going, well, I'm better than last week. You go, but last week was tragic. Tying your laces was better than last week. No, I mean, but the one I didn't like with Lundstrom, he's a pointer. I don't like players at point. I just don't like that. Yeah, the ball, don't get me, get out of there, get in. I'm going like that. I said, if I was part of the squad to last year, I'd be getting a hold of him and just telling him. I would say, don't you start thinking coming in here, Billy Big Boots, by the way. You've yet to prove yourself to us. We don't have to prove ourselves to you. We won the championship last year. You came for a relegated team, so don't start that nonsense of you're going to tell us what today. I mean, that squad need to put him in his place and just say, we'll be watching you to see what you've got. I don't like the point and carry on it. And you can keep that. If that's his game, he can keep that for me. I want to see doing something on the park, doing something with the ball.
I tell you what, you're a tough crowd, Albert. Talking about tough crowds, we've been joined by Amanda. Evening, Amanda.
Good evening. How are we all?
Hi, Amanda.
Are we all okay? I'm fine. I'm back at my own house now, thank God. I mean, I love my sister to bits, but when you're staying with somebody else, it's restrictive, isn't it? So, no, I'm doing fine. I'm on the mend. I've got my first physio session tomorrow. We better talk to tomorrow, but I never seen the Tranmere game the other night because I was at my sister's, but I heard it was pretty poor. But looking forward to the season that's coming, I mean, we've got a lot to look forward to, I think. There's a lot of positives on the team still, and as a lot of people pointed out, we've still not got a lot of our players back yet. Murray Ellis and Hollander and all that have still to return. So I think we need to be positive. I mean, let's be honest, what did we all think last season? We never thought we were going to win that league last season, but here we did. So let's not get on it's pre-season. Let's be positive to the season that's to come and say there's a lot to look forward to. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, I think the lads. I'll go to Bridgman first. I think what they're saying is, look, there's no need to panic, but the performance on Saturday was poor. Bridgman.
I think what you said is right. That's the way I feel and what I think. I also think that the performance on Saturday wasn't much better than the performance against Thistle, and at least we won against Thistle. But we're still pretty poor, and that's the God's honest truth. And Saturday, if that team had scored another goal, we might have crumbled. We actually might have crumbled, although we looked a far better team than them at times. So just confidence isn't there, and that's a big thing. We need to get the confidence back, and that's get fit, match fit, get the ball rolling again. That's what we need to do. Get in there and get it all back, because the truth of the matter is, you're not playing anybody if you're playing Tranmere. Go there and show you can play football. That's all you need to do. Just do it.
Albert?
I'm the same as Bridge. I agree with that. You just need to show them who you are. And if you get beat, you get beat. And if you run out of steam, you run out of steam, and you get minutes in your leg. It's all great stuff, and we know it's just pre-season. We know there's better to come. That's all fine and dandy, but you've still got a responsibility to put a show on. You've still got a responsibility of your attitude right, and it wasn't right. It just wasn't right. Legit, the manager saying it himself, the attitude just wasn't right. That's no Rangers. Okay, they had their double sessions, but this is all part of it. Because you get a double session doesn't mean you let your attitude drop or change, or I can't be annoyed today because I'm tired. Well, what are you doing? You're a professional football player. You get paid a lot of money to go out there and get fit.
Let's put it this way, I wish I was getting paid what they're getting paid to run about a field, I can assure you. But,
exactly.
The point is, if I could run about a field like that, I'd be quite bloody happy. But, no, I mean, as I say, I think because obviously I've been into the limbo for the last so many weeks. I mean, I was supposed to get done in May, and then I get cancelled, and then I come back, and then I get done.
Amanda, I love you to bits, but stick to the Rangers. We don't want all your ailments.
Aye. So, no, but I mean, I think just because, you can't get to the football and that, obviously with everything that's going on, but as I say, I think there's a lot of positivity to look at when the team comes to a new season. And I think, as you said the other night, it's about getting the fitness up. Go out and show them who we are. You know what I mean? Don't just, it's just a training session. Do you know what I mean? Go out and show them what you really can do. You know what I mean?
There's two sides to that coin. Bridgeman, I'll go back to you. Pre-season. I get the point about the attitude, but it's all about building up. Obviously, we start playing decent friendlies next weekend, so we've got another week. You hope the fitness and the movement and the attitude is all best picked on, and the football is a lot better. And we play with some of our better players, and we play at a better tempo, and we play properly as we move on to the Arsenal game, and then we move forward to Blackpool, and then Brighton, and then Real Madrid. You know.
It gets bigger and bigger as you go, bigger and bigger. And you're absolutely right. We've got to show, the players have got to show, they've got to know and show. This couple of games that they've just played there, they've been nowhere near showing any fitness at all. And missing sitters is okay, because we did that even in ordinary games when we're fully fit. But no sitters like that, no the amount of sitters. Good chances were made, and we're not taking them. It's just not right, and it needs to be sorted. And that's almost down to match fitness, and match fitness is all about being able to control the ball. When the ball comes to you, you can actually gauge the speed it's coming at. You can get your foot to it, and you can do what you need to do with it. Eye-ball coordination is a 100%. Get that done. You need it.
Well said, Bridgeman. He knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Aye, we need to get Fox to get that peg screwed back into the wall. Albert, Bridge is back.
Aye. You redeemed yourself there. You pulled yourself right out of the fire there, Bridge.
He didn't have.
That's compliments indeed. Thank you very much.
I'm going to go and let Bridgeman and let you get some more callers in. But listen, I'm looking forward to a good season again, and I'll speak to you all soon, okay?
Cheers, Amanda.
Bye.
Just positivity. I know you're known for your positivity, Albert,
Listen, I'm not going to let them drop their standards. I don't care what anybody says. They're not doing it with me. I'll hold them to task every time. I don't care if they're playing tiddlywinks. You play to win, you know what I mean? But as I was saying, that Saturday game, what do you think of them? Take the result out the way. Just win the result. Out the two teams, who do you think got the best benefit of that game on Saturday? Now? Who get fitter? Who actually get fitter? Who actually seen players actually trying?
They spent a lot of time chasing the ball, you know what I mean? Because we were knocking about for fun at times when they were harrying us.
But they were putting the effort in. They were putting the effort in. So that increased their fitness right away. So to my mind, it was a win-win for them.
We never even got to second gear, mate. Yeah.
No, we didn't.
No,
we didn't.
And by the way, I've got to say, Brandon Barker, get that hair sorted, son.
I know he had that dude's nest on his head before, and he's managed to get a haircut and make it look even worse. You're getting what's up with you, son? Just shave it in. What's up with you?
I think he'd been up seeing my barber. I'll tell you.
Oh, you've got no bad thatch, Bridge. You know what I mean? You know. You sort of defeat the purpose. You're the argument against it, innit? Grass does grow on a busy street, you know.
It does indeed, pal. It does indeed. That's for sure.
Can I just say, not to wish you a happy 12th at the start of the show.
You want to get ashamed of yourself or no mention it.
I apologise. I was caught up with the Dane Mal winner there with Stevie and Robert Weatherall. You know what I mean? Sorry about that. Happy 12th, boys. Happy 12th.
Anyway, happy 12th to you.
Aye, happy 12th, guys. Happy 12th.
Yes. I thought we were going to get a bank holiday for the 12th of July. That'd have been funny, wouldn't it? The rest of the UK. There you go. Never worked it. Right, okay. Well, I think we'll see if there's any more calls out there. What do you think, Bridge? What do you think, Albert?
Aye, definitely, mate. They're out there. Get out there.
Yes. Right.
You're out there. Call in.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right. Aye, okay. Listen, there's a lot of stuff going on at the club just now. A lot of positive stuff. Bill, we've not really heard from you. Obviously, you were on last week, wasn't it? Last Monday, wasn't it?
Aye, last Monday.
Seems a long time ago. Real Madrid coming to town. What does that mean to you?
Oh, that's fantastic, man. That's just fantastic. Two of the most successful teams in the world playing each other. I mean, this game was muted a few seasons back, and I believe it was the mob across the city's Lywell put the Steelers into it and stopped it. I mean, it's this tie just suits Rangers. It's all about the Rangers, and it's all about getting the quality opposition that suits us, and they definitely fall into that bracket. They are quality club. Forget about what their team is now. It might not be the best team ever, but they're quality club. They stand for exactly what Rangers stand for, quality, on and off the park. So to me, it's a fantastic tie. Just a pity we're no going to get to see it.
I know. It's heartbreaking, isn't it?
It really is, because Scottish football needs ties like this. No, I mean, to draw the attention to Scottish football and what it's all about. And there you go, we get it. But Herr Sturgeon is saying, no, it's we don't do happy in this country.
We'll hear more about that tomorrow, I suppose. Yeah. And I know how galling it must be for all supporters or the land watching the game last night when they can't get in to see their teams, when obviously you've seen the Wembley crowd, you know. It doesn't add up to the man in the street, does it?
No, it's just completely and utter bonkers. Absolutely. Scotland's the COVID capital of the world now, or Europe or whatever. You start to go, how did that happen?
Well,
I mean, that balloon's been on the telly every day for a year now, and we're still way on top. Way on top.
We eradicated it, and now it's come back, yeah? That was a statement. We were eradicated. Anyway, we could go on all night, Albert, and I think you would end up in the bed next to Robert Weatherall. Bridgeman, I know you're still smarting about missing this Real Madrid, but I'm working on these tracksuits, mate. I'm working hard.
I'll tell you what, it would be. What can I say? It'd be absolutely fabulous to go to that game. I got a text for Rangers today. Sorry, an email, and they were saying about the the sort of lottery draw type thing they're making.
Yes, for the shareholders, for the
shareholders. So
yes,
now my whole future's sitting there waiting. You know, but it'd just be wonderful. So would it be absolutely wonderful that could happen? Really.
Is that oversubscribed then? Is that what they're saying?
No,
it's oversubscribed.
There's still a couple of days to go, and obviously,
yeah. Friday it finishes up. This Friday, I think it is. This Friday. But I mean, they're just saying they're trying to entice people in as well, or reward, whichever the case may be. And I think it'd be fabulous. That'd be wonderful. It would be wonderful to get to that game. That would be, you know, imagine seeing Real Madrid again at Ibrox, just like that. Oh my God. It's just fabulous.
Big Stevie for the drum, he's got us a couple of tracks to it. I think they're for Storecast, and they're blue with orange down the side of the trouser legs with, you know, a flashing. So he's working hard on it, Bridge, but I don't know if the rest of the ball boys are the same design as me and you.
The ball boys. Just brilliant, Tom. Just brilliant, I'll tell you.
Hey, that's the thing I was going to say, you know. See the shorts, the Castore shorts for our team, but the first team. Does anybody think they don't look right? I'm talking about fitting-wise. I don't mean the actual design of them or the logo or anything like that. Same as the jerseys. I mean, they're nice.
I'm a modern man, like the Bridge man, and I watch the game, and I don't take a lot of interest. I know Rangers are for everybody and anybody, and if you look at the shots and study the shots, I'm all for it. All bear, but I never noticed anything. Bridgeman?
Never noticed anything myself, to be truthful, yeah. Well, explain yourself a wee bit more, Albert.
I think some of the players look at the shorts don't fit them. I really do. I'm going, Balogun for one, the wee boy Kelly for two, what do you call him, Middleton. They look too wee for him and all. You're going, I don't know, what's up with these shorts? Why they don't fit in these players? I don't know. They don't look right to me. Probably I'm wrong, but they don't look right to me. I don't know why, but they just don't.
Wasn't there something I picked up?
I don't. I like the tap, and that's another thing, by the way. I like the tap. I like the design of the tap. I'm going, that's cracking. Mm-hmm. They look a lack of material in it. You're going to. The Jews there at McDonald's, know what I mean? The hamburger gets weird, and the price stays the same, or the price goes up. No, I mean, to maximise profits. So it looks to me the material's getting less, but the prices are going up. You're going to something doesn't look right here.
Well, it's me, Bridge. No, a small medium is a small medium, Bridge, isn't it?
A small medium. I haven't seen a small medium for a long time.
Small medium.
Not my wardrobe, boy.
As I said, the next time you see a medium with a Ouija board in front.
Oh, for God's sake. Better believe it. It'd be the wife's clothes. No mine, that's for sure. Small medium.
Oh, dear. Oh, Albert, what goes on in your head?
I know. It's just too much time in my hands, mate. That's basically what it is. You know what I mean? Too much time. I need to get myself. I really need to start going out and facing this COVID carry on. Are we going to talk about the comes and goings of the players, or we wait until later?
I was going to come, but letting you get your shorts pointed.
It just pops into my head. I've no filters, mate. Just whatever comes into my head comes straight out of my mouth. It's not right. That's not right. So we looked up.
I get back to your comes and goings. I think, listen, it's difficult in modern football, and you two know what I'm saying. Somebody's got a decent contract, they're not going to move. They're going to stay. It doesn't matter if they're a top player. If they don't want to move, or somebody you try to get the door. But I think we've got some fringe players there that obviously they maybe got a year to go, and they either move on or they'll definitely know ways going forward, and they're just taking space in jerseys that we really don't need. For instance, maybe the boy Barker. He's not going to be good enough looking at it now. Obviously, people will bounce back, and he's not the only one. Who do you think has to get a move for their own career, Bridge?
I would say that Jordan Jones has to look at himself big style. I think the young lad we mentioned the two of them. The young boy is second running through, left-footed boy. For God's sake, it's gone again. Oh, my memory's shot to pieces.
Middleton.
Middleton, that's him. And he looked as if he was going to be a star for us at times, But he might need to push on anyway. He needs to get first team football, and that's for sure. Whether he will fit in the Rangers or not, I don't know. It's not to see. But I think most assuredly Jones, Edmondson, sorry, I think he's going to have to get his body moved away, because he's going to end up playing third fiddle, second or third fiddle. That's what I think he'll be doing. It's no good for him. I like the boy too. I quite liked him. Because that big Katic will be, in a few months' time, he'll be knocking at the door. Maybe by Christmas he'll be getting back into the first team again, if his fitness goes right.
We'll see. I think that's quite a popular one. Obviously, Jordan Jones has been a guy that's been mentioned quite a lot in the Rangers world in the last day. I think he was at the cup final. I would imagine, and I don't know all better, but imagine they had some downtime, and he was allowed to do what he wanted. I'm only guessing. I don't know.
He's Edmondson, Jones, and what do you call him? Middleton. Nah. Time's up. Time to punt them. It's as simple as that. We need to start thinning the herd, by the way, because there's two buses of players going down there. Know what I mean? You're saying, good grief, man, this is out of order, man. How many players have we got here? 20 odd players, 26 players they took down or something like that.
Does Big Bassey need to be gone for his own career? I'm not saying that he has to leave the club, but what I'm saying is, does he need to go where he's played week in, week out to develop?
I'd put him in 6 month loan. I'd put him in a 6 month loan with a possibility of further 6 month loan if Rangers don't need him. But again, my problem is with Patterson there. Look, that's a point. With Patterson there, I think Patterson can cover both fullback positions. No, I mean, he can stand in for Tava, and he can stand in for Barisic. What
about that Italian boy who got injured, who was on the crutches last night? He was right-footed and played at left back. He was rubbish, wasn't he?
I thought he was all right, actually, man.
He was brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
So I'm that was what triggered me early in the tournament, because that commentator kept going on about that guy, and I'm going like that. I can't Patterson or Tav play in the opposite wing or left wing or the left back. I'm saying Bassey out 6 months. Patterson covers the two of the full-back positions, gives the boy a better chance of getting a game. That's plenty cover. That's absolutely plenty cover. And if you get 6 months and anything's happened, one of them get injured and so you get two, so you just bring him back, and then he covers the both positions. You know what I mean? So I'm saying, no, Bassey out in 6 months, because he needs football now. I mean, you really need to see what you've got with this boy, because he's got the physique. You can't get him any bigger. He's a man mountain, and he's got the pace. You know what I mean? So I'm saying all the bits are there with that boy. Now it's the let's see what you've actually got, son. Let's see what kind of football brain you've got. Let's see if you're going to learn. Let's see your positional. Let's see if you can actually link up with players. Let's see what you've got. That's what I want. Let's improve your crossing. Let's improve your shooting, because you never ever shoot. Let's see you shooting. I want to see you actually hitting the ball. So these things need to be worked on, and he'll not get that unless he goes out on loan. He needs to get football. He needs to get first team football. So I would actually lend him to a Premiership club up here in Scotland before I lend him down south. So I would quite happy to go to St Mirren or something like that, where the provision that he gets maybe 40% of their games. If he gets a few games put under his belt, no, I mean, he's not going to sit in their bench. What's the point of that? No, I mean, he needs to play. So I would consider putting Bassey out on loan. Middleton, Jones and Edmondson, no, their time's up. They're just never going to be good enough for Rangers. You can see it. I know we don't really need the big Edmondson anymore. Now you've got Simpson there, you've got Katic, you've got Balogun, you've got Helander, you've got Golson. Now Golson and Kamara, now they're an interesting pair, they two. It's time they actually made their mind up what they're doing, and the Steiner they're going, because this could roll on right into the season. You know what I mean? Because I think the season starts before the.
Unfortunately, the ball's in their court, mate, and there's nothing we can do about it, mate.
Well, it's not really, Ox. I mean, you can you make your mind up by this time next week or the following week. It's stay or go, make your mind up, where's you going? If there's a stumbling block with how much they're getting or whatever deal they're trying to get, well, fair enough. It's down to the Rangers to go, we're not prepared to give you anywhere, that's what you're getting. So it's go time. But don't let it drag into the season. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I think the transfer window stays open when the season's actually up and running. And you don't want this to become a side issue. So I'm a great believer. You're a great believer. If you're not wanting to stay, well, go. But if you want to stay, well, let's get this thrashed out. Let's come to the compromise of the new and sort the deal out the new. So you might have the two going out the door. You might have Edmondson. You might have Jones and Middleton going out the door. But we definitely need to start thinning the herd. Especially if they're going to bring MD in, which I don't know if they are.
I get your point, mate. I think some of the fringe players, Bridgman, thoughts?
Well, I was interested to hear the Holbert talking about Goldson and what's his name?
Kamara.
Kamara, yeah. I think that they two really needs to be.
Kamara's got. It's no next year. He's got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah, what I mean is that people are supposed to be interested in him, and it could be turning his head. So somewhere along the line, he needs to make up his mind. Does he want to go? In which case, he must alert the club, and the club will do whatever they can to transfer him, because we just don't want to hold on to people that don't want to be there. That's the be all and end all for it. But I think, to be honest, Big Goldson, I would be really sad that he leaves. I'd be sad if he left. It's sad for him as well, because he's a star up here, and the only other place he could go to is English Premier League. And I don't know if he would be at the games that he requires to keep his running, because he's running like a train every game now. He's up there doing it. I don't know whether he'll get away with that type of running in English Premier League. So he might not get the games. That's what I mean. I'd hate to see him sitting on a bench for the rest of his career, even though he's getting mega millions. I'd hate to see him sitting there. So I think he's a smashing player for us, brilliant performer for us. That's what I'd be sorry about.
I think the problem is that's what happens in modern football. Some you win, some you lose, but we'll see. There's a lot of speculation out there, Albert, a lot of paper talk. Some of it will be true eventually. Yeah, you've got to be prepared for that. But some of it will be crap.
Some will be cabbies. No, I mean, you're right there, man. There's making away for that. They're going to actually start paying money for talking crap now, which I'm quite happy about. But we'll talk about that later on, I suppose. But the one with Goldson is it's quite simple. How many times have we seen we're watching Rangers over the years? You get a player like Laudrup and players like that, and the negotiators contract, and it drags out till it gets to the stage of what's that, and then they actually sign him. We all go, oh, thank God, and then they're going to have a stinking season. Rather the ones that just go, right, bang, sort the contract out early, staying or going, I'm staying, bang, sign the contract, let's go in the next season. The next few seasons, how long you're here. So that's what's in my mind. I'm going, this will get dragged on, and all of a sudden you'll sign, and it'll be, oh, thank God he's signed. Like Bridge saying, we don't want to see him go. We're all happy, and then you go, halfway through the season, you go, better if he just sell him. Look at the state he's in, man. He's just no there. So maybe I'm tempting fate. I hope I'm not, because if you're going to sign. If you're not going to sign, it's ching ching cheerio, and let's go on with it.
Aye, but the only trouble is he doesn't have to go if he doesn't want to. Yeah?
I mean, if he doesn't want to, he can see you. I think he's only got a year left his contract.
That's right.
So if he doesn't want to go, I mean, I think that'd be pretty snide if he done that. Rangers, it really would. I mean, make your mind up the now, stay or go, and let Rangers get a transfer fee if you're going. And if you want to stay, great, we want you to stay. There'll maybe try to force you out the door. Stay and sign your contract, and let's go on with the business in hand. But he needs to be fair to Rangers. I mean, Rangers done him a turn. Rangers have played him all the 8 games, and Rangers have put him back on the map when a lot of people wouldn't take the chance on him because of his illnesses or his medical condition or lack of medical condition, whatever way you want to put it. But at the end of the day, he's getting a loyalty to Rangers as well as Rangers get a loyalty to him. So I think it's time now that he starts to make moves like going, I'm staying or I'm going. Me personally, if you want to stay, I'm delighted. If you don't, I'm with you, Ox. Get them out quickly.
I would like to find out from the club, of course, if there is a problem with Big Craig Goldson, then what is it? Let the fans know. That's the way I look at it. As far as I'm concerned, how can I say it? I want Goldson to sign on a dotted line for us, and if it means an extra £1,000 a week, whatever it is, I don't know what much that even means. You know, I just whatever the guy's looking for, come to some sort of agreement with it, because to me it can only be money. It can only be money.
Maybe you'll never know with players, mate, whether they want to see other options, see where he is in 6 months' time. I mean, I'm not saying I agree with it. The pendulum swung too far in the players' favour for me, but they've got all the aces when they come near the end of their contracts, albeit.
I mean, that's exactly right. I don't know. I mean, Jim McLean of Dundee United actually exposed the players' fragile stance when he done with what he done with all the young players, 10-year contracts and all that. I mean, he went the complete opposite side of the spectrum when it came to that. But now it's swung right across to the players' side. Now they're all acting like we Jim McLean's. No, I mean, but there's a happy compromise somewhere in the middle. To my mind, I would always have the option for the year into the contracts for the club point of view. So that gives you some degree of control of what's happening. So like some Goldson's coming up, and if I'm just going to see it. We've got an option for a year. So we'll take that second option up. So you're here for 2 years. And I go, right, okay, right. Are you staying or are you going now? So, no, I mean, you're trying to give yourself as much flexibility as possible. And you're not wanting to take away the player's rights. He's got his rights as well. Of course he has. He's allowed to do what he wants to do as well, within reason, by the way. You've got a contract to honour. You've signed that contract. But let's be honest, a lot of the contracts are not worth the paper they're written in.
I can't believe that you're pushing for Golson to sign a new contract. I'm a big guess. Did you all your best bits about Golson before last season?
All right, they proved me wrong, and that's what I'm wanting them to do. I don't want to be right. When I'm calling a player rotten, I don't want to be right. I don't think for a minute a day I want to be wrong about a Rangers player when I'm calling them rotten. And I want to be proved, and I want them to shove it right down my throat. That's, of course, like Middleton. If he turned around tomorrow and started playing brilliant, I'd shove it right down my throat. Great, I want that. Because if they're playing brilliant for Rangers are doing well. We're winning games, winning cups, winning leagues. Of course I want Rangers players to play well. I know on their side to play well, but I'm not going to stand back and let anybody put that jersey on and no pull their weight. That's not the type of person I am. I know there's a lot of people out there who'll disagree with me, and that's fine and dandy. That's people's got entitled to their opinions. And phone in and let's hear your opinions, because I'm fed up rattling on here.
You're here, mate. He's broken a new set of teeth tonight, Bridget.
He's done very well, hasn't he? He's done very well. I'm sure he's going to give somebody a doing the second half of the programme.
When you said sure there, I thought you were going to start singing. Oh dear. But we move on, and there's a lot of positivity about the club this new Albert. Have you been down by and seen how things are coming together?
I've not been down for about 2 weeks, but I'll go down tomorrow. I'll take a wee run down tomorrow. Everything's honky-dory. The last time I was down, the whole place is looking excellent. No, I mean, they've got all the sand out the car parts and all that now in the park now. But I had a wee peek at the park. The park's looking excellent, absolutely excellent.
Yeah, pictures of people obviously been having a meal, etc. You know.
Absolutely. So I've actually put in for some shares. I've bought that season ticket for Edmondson House. I've joined that my shares. So I'll not be eating for a couple of months, you know what I mean? But apart from that, I've got everything about Rangers I need, you know what I mean?
I think Mr. Bisgrove, we might as well, him and Castore, we might as well get all our wages, pensions, etc. just by direct. Cut out the middleman.
just straight in,
cut out the middleman. You know, right used to get yourself on mute. And it could be a wee cultural one, you never know. We're going to have a tune.
why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
That's what you call a melody, Albert Bridgman.
Oh, enjoyed that.
I can see Skipper in the lobby there dancing away. I can give advice to anybody: don't go to a demonstration with Skipper. He led me astray once, and I've never recovered from it since. The bad people who introduced me and led me astray severely, Mr. Skipper did.
Skipper. Super. By the way, congratulations. Well done there, Old School. That was fantastic. I think it was Old School who put it together. Absolutely brilliant. Well done. Really enjoyed it.
I was up and down the hall there with my night shirt, swinging side to side there.
I was doing a Gaza with it.
Update for Big Stevie's boy Jamba. He's got a buckle fracture, right? And obviously horn wrist area. So hopefully Jamba gets soon. I think that's one coming out of Stookie, one getting into Stookie. He'll learn. Yeah, he'll learn.
Was it playing football, eh?
Aye, both playing football, I think. Yep.
He wasn't playing against Tranmere, was he?
No, he's too good an attitude for that, mate.
Nice one.
Aye, let's hear for you. We're slowly building up to the new season. We'll have small shows on this week, next week, and then on the 26th of July, we go back to tours every night, Bridgeman, as we build up to 2021-22 season.
That's what we want to be. We want to be a full-time team, 100%.
Yep. You mentioned all the friendlies and that, Albert, and all the things that's happening at the club. All right, I know, I get it. People have only got so much to spend. I fully understand that, yeah. But listen, these friendlies, even just the friendlies, Arsenal and Real Madrid alone, that's big revenue your club's losing out in that.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And it just keeps going on. It just seems to be there's no end to it. No, I mean, and it's big. It's friendlies like this you're not going to get again, especially the Real Madrid one. You're not going to get that again. No for years anyway. So it's sad. It really is sad, and it's hot. It's doing the club good, and it's hurting the club at the same time. Hurting the club financially because we can't get the troops in. Because the place, let's be honest, we're hanging off the rafters. Let's not kid ourselves on there. Everybody wants to go to that game, no? I mean, and you want all the wee boys and lassies to go as well to show them and let them get a taste of it and get the buck for Rangers against the big European teams.
Aye, and the ticket sales, the programmes, the collectibles, the special scarves, Bridgeman, it's a load of cash in it.
This is probably the most important friendly, in my opinion, the most important friendly that Rangers could actually come up with. I don't think they could have brought up a more important one. Arsenal's a big season friendly, but Real Madrid is just, I mean, that's just worldwide, you know. It's just utterly massive. And if your club don't get in into this, it'll be an actual tragedy. So we need to do our best when we're playing Real Madrid to impress them and impress into them. They coming to Glasgow is a really good idea for them, and they can enjoy themselves, come over here and drink some whiskey or whatever it is they want to do. But to make them at home, and then see if we can get them back again. Because as Albert saying, it's just sad that they're not going to get here. No big plans.
When was it played them last? Bridge, was it the 60s?
63. Yeah.
Well, last time we played, I remember it was the European Cup in '63. And my goodness gracious, they put the price up to like 10 bob or something like that, you know, to get in. An unbelievable price, you know.
I can't see James Bisgrove putting up with 10 bob. Can you?
I mean, that was more than double. That was more than double the entry fee. That time was like 4 and 6 to get in the Ibrox, you know.
You probably give him a £50 note and he'll give you a 10 bob change.
I thought Bisgrove would give you any change. You'd say, no, that's for the club. Cheerio. No, I'm mightily impressed with what Bizro's doing. I think it's wonderful, really just wonderful. And I'm not being funny. I think it's just great. And that bringing Real Madrid over when we get the crowds back, one of the first things you should try and do is to get Real Madrid over again as quickly as possible.
You never know, Rich. You never know.
Oh, absolutely.
Qualifiers. You never know.
Oh, hey, I never thought of that. I'm talking about just friendlies. Imagine meeting them in the European Cup. Oh, mommy, daddy. What
You never know.
we done to the 10-0.
Somebody's still riding the Christie away Paul Bear, isn't he?
You better believe it.
He's not going to come down for another 20 years.
Stone mad.
Okay, all right. Listen, obviously there's been some role changing. I was going to say role playing, but that means a different thing to you, Albert. I was going to say role changing at the club. With Jermaine Defoe's got a playing contract stroke, staff contract training. He's a new part of the backroom staff. So listen,
Coaching.
So let's hear from Jermaine Defoe.
As a Rangers player coach, how have you been finding it so far?
Well, so far, it's just more as a player, focusing on pre-season, to making sure that I get a good pre-season, I'm fit, and I'm sort of like ready to go. And obviously, in terms of the coaching side of it, at some point, I'll get introduced. The manager said, and maybe have the red kit on. I don't know, and I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. It's something that we spoke about over the summer, myself and the manager, the staff, Ross, and obviously when this opportunity came to me, it was an easy decision, to be honest. To do something like this at a club like this is so special.
Can you explain to us a bit about what your new role's going to involve going forward?
Well, when I came back in, the staff just said to me, just concentrate on being a player. Don't focus too much on both sides. Just focus on being a player. Like I just mentioned, get yourself fit and sharp. So, if you're needed, then you're ready to do what you do. And like I said before, the coaching side of it, obviously I told you last season about I've started my badges. So hopefully I'll be finished those soon. And just getting that year of experience, learning from the manager, learning from Mick, Gary, and all the staff involved, them helping me on the coaching side of it. At some point, dipping in and out of sessions, hopefully. Probably more on the finishing side of it, I could imagine. But dipping in and out of sessions, and I love the opportunity to even go over to the other side and do a little bit with the younger lads as well. The next generation, which will be good, which will give me a good feeling. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Yeah.
You mentioned that you've started your badges. Was there a stage in your career where you decided that coaching was going to be the path for you? And what's maybe been the process from deciding that to now as a coach?
I've always thought about the coaching side of it. Even when I remember when I was at Sunderland, I did a little bit. I always used to take the younger forwards after training. So even then, I was doing a little bit without even knowing really. It was sort of like just off the cuff sort of thing, where after training I'll just take the forwards and the young boys and I don't know, give them some advice and stuff like that, and we just do loads of shooting and stuff like that. So it's always something that I've thought about, and it's stuff that I've enjoyed doing, and I mean to give back as well with the experience that I've got. It gives me a good feeling, and at the end of the day, I think when you love football like I do, it's something like this is special.
You mentioned you're very much focusing on being a player at the moment. How, as the 6 weeks you had off, the work that you were doing there, how's that prepared you to come in and then hit the ground running this week?
What, the training? I always take over, to be honest, over the summer. We get given programs anyway, so you have to sort of like stick to the programs. It's not like years and years ago where you get 6 weeks off and you just rest for 6 weeks and you come back and get yourself fit. You almost have to come back fit for pre-season now, so it's completely different. So obviously I've been ticking over like I've always done, doing my stuff in the gym, the running, doing football sessions as well, which has been good because that keeps you sharp. And so I've come back and I feel good. I feel strong. Obviously it's early days. You don't want to sort of like peak too early or push yourself too much. You don't, get any injuries through pre-season. So, yeah, the session, we had the first session was obviously testing the first day to see where you're at. And then we had a double session. It was off yesterday and a session today. So I'm looking forward to the session today and just getting fitter, yeah.
I guess those 6 weeks also gave you the time to reflect on everything that happened last year. How, firstly, do you look back on those achievements, but also understand the need that it's done, it's time to draw a line and move on?
Yeah, of course. Over the summer, you celebrate, you go home and, you celebrate with your family. My family did a surprise party for me. It was crazy. I can't believe I didn't know. I'm normally quite clocked on with stuff like that. But so, of course, yeah, you go home and you celebrate with your family and your friends. And then obviously get to the point where you think, right, I've got to refocus now. And obviously when I signed the contract, I was just looking forward to coming back. And now it's important that we sort of regroup. That's gone now and focus on the new challenge. And the challenge is, can we do it all again? And as players, you know the feeling that you got from doing it, and you crave that more. So I suppose that's the challenge. Can we do it all again? Because if we do, it'll be so special again.
All right, we're back, gentlemen.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been more worried about that cough. I get that cough checked. Jermaine Defoe's got. Anyway, I mean, obviously he's an asset for us. We don't know how much appearances he's going to get on the park, but obviously they thought there was value in it, so they gave him a dual contract. I think most days would say there's logic in that, but only time will tell. Albert?
I mean, I knew the wee guy wouldn't take another contract unless he was going to actually contribute, and part of that contribution is going to be his coaching side of it as well. So I knew the guy was like that. I read him right away as a decent guy. He's no out to steal wages. He's no out there just to jog along. And you know what I mean, he's out there to actually first and foremost play and contribute to the team, but then as his backup role as the coach. But I know he's talking about the forwards there, Rox. What I want him to work with as well as the forwards, but particularly concentrate on the wing backs and the midfield to show them how to make space in the box, where they should be running to, and get the shooting drills for them properly, for the angles they're coming in at. Know what I mean? So I hope he works with them in particular, because they're definitely needing lessons on how to finish and where they should be when, like so the ball's in the opposite wing. Where should I be when the ball's coming into the box? How do I make space? How do I go in the end of this?
Is there no two guys in the coaching staff more qualified for that than Jermaine Defoe?
Aye, but you know what I mean? He's natural. He just knows. He's been doing it for years.
He's the number 9. He's never played as coming into the box and making their runs. Just completely
different. But he's come into that angle, Ox. He's not always just stood in the middle of a box. He comes in from different angles. If you look for him with Tottenham and who was it, Plymouth or something? Was it Plymouth? Portsmouth. If you look to the 80s and the Tottenham game, it wasn't always running in straight down the middle of the park. So that's what I'm more looking at Tavernier and Barisic and Bassey and Patterson, and then look at the wingers, Kent. Not so much Kent, but definitely Wright and what do you call him? Who's the other winger? Wee Barker, if he stays there. You should be showing them, look, seeing he's coming down there, if you want to make space, you need to start getting into commute, running that way, get that position, but don't go too early, get your timing right, show them how to get the timing right. It sounds daft and obvious, but it's not happening. It's just not happening, because you see it there on Saturday, for example, we had chances, but if people are actually making that, and Gerard's saying, if people are actually making the run and a willingness to want to score, and that's what I think he'll bring. I hope so, anyway.
Okay, we've been joined by somebody who's been known not to peak too early. We've been joined by JFK. Evening, James.
Evening, guys. It's great to hear your dulcet tones again.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, all bears. As my good friend Bridge here as well. Hi, Falk. Good.
Well done.
Hello to Fox and Old School Blue and all you guys out in the lobby. It's great to be back. I was postponed last week, but I'm here now. Things are going well, I think, and there's a lot too much being made out of the defeat and the weekend and that. It's a friendly. Let's get the lungs bursting and let's get the legs going and that, you know. But I disagree with Albert about Jermaine Defoe, I wouldn't have touched him. I wouldn't have want him in the first place. I think there's more Rangers legends out there who have got more coaching experience than Jermaine Defoe. It doesn't make sense to me. So that's just my opinion, obviously. But I just don't think that it's a pal's job for me.
You've been rang in the past, yeah.
Well, everybody's been rang in the past, but
I was rang once, 1983. But apart from that, I don't think. You know.
I just think it's a pal's job.
What it is, I think, is if the whole jigsaw fits together, or should we say, in your case, mate, if the painting comes together, yes? You see
if the painting comes together, he gets a sack. he got a bump, by the way. He never got a penny off us. If any of you are on my Facebook, go and see the video and you'll see the mess he's made.
Oh, dear. I take it got worse for the last time we spoke.
It has, mate. You know, I mean, DIY, I gave it up, and I thought, I'm looking at what this guy's mess he's made. I thought I should get back in there, but I'm not going up a 30-foot ladder, no way. But anyway, it's done now, and we've got somebody else in accompanying to do it.
Dear, oh dear.
So,
right. Look, the Jermaine Defoe, I get your point about whether you think, you were quite animated maybe too strong a word, but you were forceful in your view. You didn't think we should have signed them.
No.
But I do think there's a lot of pieces in a coaching staff and a playing staff jigsaw, and hopefully it wasn't done for sentiment, mate. If it is done for sentiment, I think you could be proved to be correct, but hopefully it's done for the benefit of the team and the club, yeah?
Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate. I think if the gaffer's done that for the benefit of the club, then I'll eat humble pie.
I get it, mate. But
I've got a feeling it's no that. I don't see what he can bring to Rangers. No, I never thought he could. I know people can put statistics out there and say, his goal ratio per game and that is good and that, but for me, I never rate it at all, mate. Never.
All right, okay. Talking about guys we rate. Well, sometimes we rate them. We'll be joined by Alex Kelly. Evening, Alex.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we all doing?
Yeah, good, mate. Good.
Hey, Jimmy, I think your painting looks brand new, mate. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Don't you start. Slept with a painter, mate. Slept with a painter.
The numbers weren't big enough for the guy,
Alex. Aye. My neighbour said that. You should have put numbers up in the building, maybe they've done it right. No.
You'd get a job with the council, no bothered doing that.
Well, I've found out since then, Alex, that actually worked with me before, the council. So that tells it all. Anyway.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, good evening, gentlemen. How we all doing?
Was it clued on his name, Michelangelo? Did you know he specialised in ceilings? You know what I mean?
You don't want me to see his name live on air. He's on Facebook.
No, don't you?
Everybody knows who he is now.
Don't you worry.
Anyway, interested you looks.
Yeah.
The floor's yours, yeah?
Yeah, no bother. No, I was wanting to...
I don't want you taking JFK's crown.
I was watching, obviously, the sport of the weekend there. You've got 70,000 in at Wembley. Yes. You've got a full house at Wimbledon.
That's about
You're getting full houses at Ascot. You're getting 40,000 going to the golf. How the hell is Nicola Sturgeon not letting more people than 2,000 in supposed to be for Ibrox Flag Day? Particularly with everybody up to double vaccinations, a good percentage of the nation. What is?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah, put it round the panel. Give us your thoughts.
Well, for a start, all bears not allowed to. Yeah.
Keep me away from that.
Yeah, listen, mate, we can't answer it, mate, because there's no logic. Either somewhere's got it completely wrong, or somewhere else has got it completely right, and only time will tell.
Can I just come in a wee bit about that?
Bridgeman?
Sorry, Bridgeman. Sorry, Bridge.
JFK, on you go, mate.
I'm here, pal. I'm here.
On
you go.
What was that? What was the question? Sorry, I missed the question, but
well, there's no lot of point if you weren't listening to the question.
Right.
The idea of this show is people phone in, they ask us questions, we answer them. JFK.
I'll go off I'll go further with what Alex talking about, and it's something that I'm concerned about. Is the 31st of July when our first league game at home for the unfurling of the flag.
Yes.
And my concern is that if she keeps cutting or restricts us for going, I'm hoping that Rangers actually look at this and don't allow the 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 in for a flag unfurling. Yeah, if they're going to let fans in, fine. But they need to, for me, they need to let us all see the bad 15 months we've had, supported the team financially, etc. That to the next league game is against the puddle drinkers and have the flag unfurling that day. I mean, hopefully in that time in August next year, that then at least we might have 50% of the fans in. If I was unlucky enough not to get a ticket or my season ticket be used for that day, at least 25,000-30,000 bears would be able to go in and celebrate a flag unfurling.
A couple of thousand in Ibrox, I just think it leaves a lot of people more upset than pleased, and I don't see any benefits. I spoke to you and gave you my personal views. There was obviously 12,000, 15,000 or something at Hampden. Obviously, you're all right to go to George Square, as we've seen last night in the media. There's a football match on, so they've okayed that now in Glasgow. I think I picked up the pictures of that. So, Alex, to be honest with you, mate, I can't answer your question. I'm keeping all Bear and Bridgeman away from it because of their medication.
Probably wise, but listen, being serious about it though, we've got potentially, she's going to bankrupt clubs in Scotland by keeping punters out, because this furlough will not be getting kept going forever with the UK government.
It started cut back and it cuts back again in August, mate.
Yeah. So listen, if there's no furlough to subsidise the losses that the clubs are making, they're going to end up bankrupting Scottish football. It's crazy what she's done.
I would want Rangers to come out and make, as Jimmy's saying there, I want Rangers to come out and make a statement. There'll be no unfurling of the flag to Ibrox is full, and wherever that is, whatever game that is, and let that SFA know and all the rest. And we're not unfurling that flag till we get the Ibrox full, and it's only fair, as Jimmy pointed out. We've all supported the team, the club, and everything with our finances, so we're all entitled to see that day. So until we get Ibrox full, we don't unfurl that flag. End of.
Yeah.
Aye, I get it.
That's a cracking point, I would say, man. Jimmy made it as well, and all, but I think really, it's a good question. It's a really good question. I think, in all honesty, Rangers have to do something. I don't know what they can do, because we're speaking about legislation stuff. So somewhere along the line, they've got to be able to sit down with SFA and the government and work it all out. Because I get the feeling that the SFA and the government will go against Rangers no matter what, and that's just my own feelings about them. So I think Rangers step out now and say, right, we'll no bother unfurling the flag. If they can do that, as long as it's okay, they can do that, then that's fine. I don't want them falling foul of the SFA as well as the government and everybody else. Just do it the right way as much as possible. Anyway.
I'm glad you brought up the furlough, because there'll be wage cuts coming on this show.
Well said, folks.
He doesn't say a lot, but when he does speak Bear, you feel it, don't you?
I wouldn't say too much,
Jimmy.
You might be the first.
You definitely feel it in your wallet, I'll tell you that. That's why I don't like him talking. I just like him when he's quiet.
Listen, mate, he takes more money out of my wallet than James Biggs throws.
Ox, you had a conversation with a couple of my fellow Blue Noses that you know are up here, and we spoke about this at great length. And my big concern is that we're not going to get in to see that unfurling. I know we're not going to get in on the 31st of July, but it's going forward, and you can see excuses being made about, well, Rangers have decided they're going to do the unfurling at the next home game, which is against the puddle drinkers, and then you'll get the big outcry, but there might be trouble. We need to fight that. There's only going to be 850 puddle drinkers sitting at the corner, and we should be allowed to have 50,000 Rangers fans in there celebrating. And if that doesn't happen, then Rangers need to take a good look at themselves. The things that are happening now obviously isn't the Rangers' fault because the pandemic's still ongoing as such.
Rangers can't control a lot of this, can they? They can't control.
Pandemic-wise, we can't. But if we turn around, if Rangers come out and make a statement and say, unfortunately, due to the amount of fans and the restriction on the 31st of July, we'll be holding back the unfurling of the flag because it's only fair that all Rangers fans get to see that. If Rangers don't do that for us, then for me, then they fell down in my estimation. And that. I mean, we know what Rangers are capable of. Why not start speaking up for ourselves a bit better? That's my only thing.
There'll be a lot of conversations that you'll never even be party to, like when the trophy day, when the conversations came out about that, Rangers had proposed 5 lots of 10,000 to get into the stadium allotted times, and wasn't mentioned, was it?
No, but the thing is, the people I spoke to as well, they're saying is, if I can't get into Ibrox to see the flag unfurling, I'm hitting George Square. And then what happens then is that no us as Rangers fans, but the others who'll see it as we shouldn't be doing that. Yet there's Scottish Italians in George Square last night and others celebrating a European Championship win, but that's all right. But as soon as Rangers fans get into George Square or anybody else and on I'm not going to use that second word, but in a big crowd, then they're vilified for it. So let's hope Rangers can do the right thing. 2:00 tomorrow, she's on, and she should be able to tell us what's happening regarding
attendances. Anyway, gentlemen, pre-season build-up. We've reached that time of the evening, and it's over to you, Mr. Bridge.
What can I say? By the way, I thoroughly enjoyed that tonight. It was really, really good. That's no offence to any of the boys that come in late, you know. I really enjoyed their bit as well. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is, the build-up's getting there. The build-up's getting there. Everybody, please, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us, and they really do. Keep it going.
Yeah, can I just say, once again, a big shout-out to Robert Weatherall, and of course, Lee Jamba, who's busted his arm. You'll learn, son, you'll learn. Tell your dad to get you some weights. Right, and also, can I give a shout-out to Big George Logan. Cheers, big man. Can I thank everybody for taking part tonight? Obviously, David V. Cumbernauld, Amanda, and of course, JFK and Alex Kelly, the one and only Albert, and the legend that is Bridgeman, Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. A shout out to GB in Port Bear, who tried an experiment last night on the Rangers Radio with live games. Something that's work in progress, and the boys will get it. They'll crack it. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. We'll be back on Wednesday. We'll be joined by the one and only Linda. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Oh, his story, the Rangers Football Club, the Rangers Football Club, the Rangers Football Club, the greatest in all history, the Rangers Football Club, a debt we owe, we cannot pay, those gallant pioneers, a legacy they did bestow, we shared down through the years, to Moses and those fine young lads, our gratitude we'll show, we'll sing our song with heart and voice, and let the whole world know, the Rangers Football Club, the Rangers Football Club, the greatest in all history, the Rangers Football Club. Come join as one and toast to all who share our history. Toast William Struth, a noble man, I'm sure you will agree. Lest we forget our absent friends, they watch from up above in life and death will always be with Rangers Football Club. The Rangers Football Club. The Rangers Football Club. The greatest in all history. The Rangers Football Club. The Rangers Football